What's up YouTube, Saf here on Super Saf TV, and this is my hands-on comparison of the Google Nexus 5 to the Apple iPhone 5s. So the Google Nexus 5 has been manufactured by LG and is the flagship from Google. The Apple iPhone 5s is the flagship from Apple. So you've got Google versus Apple here, but which one of these flagships comes out on top? Well, do hit that thumbs up button and let's find out. So starting off with the size, the Nexus 5 is quite a bit larger compared to the iPhone 5s, 14.1mm in height, 10.6mm in width, and it's also a millimeter thicker. The Nexus 5 also weighs 18 grams more than the iPhone 5s. Now this primarily does come down to the fact that the Nexus 5 has a much larger screen, a 4.95 inch screen compared to the 4 inch screen of the iPhone 5s. In terms of resolution, the Nexus 5 has a 1920 by 1080p display Full HD, and that's 445 ppi pixel density. The iPhone 5s has a 1136 by 640 pixel resolution, and that's 326 ppi pixel density. So the iPhone 5s is a lot more compact and easier to use with one hand. However, the larger screen with the high resolution and pixel density of the Nexus 5 allows for a more comfortable experience when consuming media. So I do think it comes down to personal preference. Now moving on to the build, the iPhone 5s has that aluminium unibody design, which has been very popular and is definitely one of the most premium looking devices out there at the moment. Available in silver, space grey, and also a gold version now. The Nexus 5 has a plastic build, but it's not a standard glossy plastic which we've seen on other devices. We've got a soft touch plastic, very similar to the 2013 edition of the Google Nexus 7. Feels nice in the hand, it's grippy and also very comfortable to hold. Available in either the full black or also a black and white version with a black front and a white back. Now I would say that both of these look and feel very nice. However, the iPhone 5s does get that slight edge for the more premium materials used. Now in terms of performance, the Nexus 5 has a quad-core 2.3 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon 800 processor with 2 GB of RAM. The iPhone 5s on the other hand has an Apple A7 dual-core 1.3 GHz processor. Now this is a 64-bit processor, the first smartphone with 64-bit technology, 1 GB of RAM, and it's also got an M7 motion coprocessor. Now this measures motion data from the accelerometer, the gyroscope and the compass. Now I have done a benchmark and speed comparison between the Nexus 5 and the iPhone 5s in a separate video, so do go ahead and check that out. A link will be in the description below. The Nexus 5 does score higher overall in benchmarks, but in terms of general usage, they are pretty much neck and neck. A few split seconds of difference between the two, but nothing you're likely to notice. Both of these are very fast and snappy, and some of the best performing smartphones out there. Now in terms of storage, the Nexus 5 comes in either the 16 or 32 GB versions. The iPhone 5s comes in either the 16, 32 or 64 GB versions. So you do have an additional version on the iPhone 5s for the heavy users out there, but neither of these come with expandable storage. So if you think you will be using more storage, then it may be a good idea to opt for a larger version. Now in terms of the cameras, both of these have an 8 megapixel rear facing camera. The Nexus 5 comes with Optical Image Stabilisation, whereas the iPhone 5s comes with a dual LED TrueTone flash. Both of these are capable of filming 1080p HD. In terms of front-facing cameras, the iPhone 5s has a 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera. The Nexus 5 has a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera, both of these capable of filming 720p HD. Now I have done an in-depth camera comparison between the two, so do go ahead and check that out. A link will be in the description below. In terms of the final images, I had mixed results. For some images I preferred the iPhone 5s, and for others I preferred the Google Nexus 5. So I will leave it to you to decide after watching my full in-depth comparison. One additional feature that the iPhone 5s does offer is 720p at 120 frames a second. Great for slow motion, and it has been implemented really well. You can either slow down a full video or just a part of a video, and it's a lot of fun to use. I would also say that the iPhone 5s camera software and interface is faster and easier to use. A lot of options are just one touch or one swipe away, and I would really like to see an update on the Nexus 5's stock Android camera software. Now operating systems, the Nexus 5 comes with Android KitKat version 4.4. The iPhone 5s comes with iOS 7. So the latest version of both operating systems are here, which is a big advantage. You will also be getting the latest updates that are direct, and you won't have to go through any third parties. Now you do have the age-old Apple iOS versus Android war, but I do think it comes down to personal preference, so I won't be going into a debate on this video. Now, in terms of connectors, the iPhone 5s uses the proprietary Lightning connector. The Nexus 5 uses the more universal micro USB connector. So Nexus 5, you will be able to use other cables from other devices. With the Apple iPhone 5s, you'll only be able to use it with other Apple products that use the Lightning connector. The Nexus 5 also uses a micro SIM card, whereas the iPhone 5s uses a nano SIM card. Something to bear in mind before you get these devices, just so you are prepared in advance. Now, touching on some of the additional features that both of these devices offer, the Nexus 5 has NFC as well as wireless charging, both of which are not available on the iPhone 5s. The Nexus 5 also has an LED pulse notification light. Now, this flashes in different colors depending on your notification. So for instance, if you've got a Facebook update, it will flash blue. If you've got a Twitter update, then it will flash green, and so on. The iPhone 5s, however, does have Touch ID, a fingerprint scanner on the home button which can be used to unlock your device and also make purchases on the App Store. This works really well and has been implemented very nicely. The Nexus 5 does offer a variety of options to unlock your device, such as face unlock, pattern unlock, voice unlock, and so on, but none of these are as advanced as Touch ID. Now, in terms of the speakers, both of these have the same speaker placement at the bottom of the devices. I did find that the iPhone 5s was louder and produced a little bit more rich sound, so I would give the edge here to the iPhone 5s. Now, in terms of the batteries, the iPhone 5s has a 1560 mAh battery. The Nexus 5 has a 2300 mAh battery. Neither of these are removable. And although the Nexus 5 has a larger battery, it is pushing out that many more pixels. So in terms of usage, I did find these to be very similar. Both are okay, not great. So I would say if you're a light to medium user, you should get through the day on a single charge on both of these. However, if you are a heavy user, then you will need a top up. Now finally, looking at the price, if we compare the like-for-like versions, so the off-contract 16GB versions on both sides, the iPhone 5s, you can pick it up for £549 in the UK or $649 in the US. The Nexus 5 comes in at an absolutely insane price of £299 in the UK or $349 in the US. Now we are looking at the off-contract prices to weigh up the differences in value between the devices. The Nexus 5 is almost half the price of the iPhone 5s. So there we have it, the Google Nexus 5 versus the Apple iPhone 5s. Both of these worthy flagships, I would say, both offering some great features, and some advantages and disadvantages are on both sides. But I think the biggest separating factor between these two has to be the price. The Google Nexus 5 coming in at almost half the price of the Apple iPhone 5s. So just to put that into context, you could get a Google Nexus 5 as well as a Google Nexus 7 tablet, and that would still be less compared to the Apple iPhone 5s. So big separating factor between these two here. Which one do you think is better? Which one will you be going for? Do drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, as always, please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. And why not subscribe to the channel? I've got plenty more content coming up in here. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on Super Saf TV, and I'll see you next time. If you want to see more regular videos like this one, then be sure to hit the subscribe button, which will be below. If you're on a mobile device, it may be somewhere else. If you want to see my previous related video, then hit the link right here. If you want to stay in touch over Facebook, Twitter and Google+, then all of the addresses will be there somewhere, as well as direct links in the description below. Okay, if you're still watching, then that means you've not done one of those things, so, you know. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna go downstairs. See. Okay. There isn't really a downstairs. Anyway, so yeah.